Picture Phil Foden in May 2024, medals clinking, 27 goals, 13 assists and more individual awards than Pep has scarves. Fast forward 12 months and the same prodigy is miss-hitting 5-yard passes, searching for form like we search for a streaming link at 2 a.m. What happened to Manchester City's golden boy? Why did England's new hope burn out? And most importantly, how does he light the fuse again? Stay with me for the next few minutes and you'll get the full story, the brutal numbers behind his dip, the hidden injuries the tabloids missed, and the tactical tweaks Guardiola is sketching on his favourite whiteboard. Think of this video as football therapy, part forensic analysis, part pep talk. By the end, you'll know whether to keep Foden in your fantasy team or sell faster than a crypto bro hearing the word regulation. Because this isn't just about one player, it's about pressure, burnout, and the fine line between genius and exhaustion. So grab a brew, hit the subscribe button you were definitely going to hit anyway, and let's dive into the rise, fall, and potential rebirth of Phil Foden. The comeback trial starts now, and you won't want to miss it. Rewind to 2023-24, the season Phil Foden stopped being Manchester City's promising kid and became the Premier League's undisputed headline act. At 23, he tore up Guardiola's whiteboard, drifting from right wing to number 10 and even false 9, turning positional freedom into ruthless output. In league play alone, he smashed 19 goals and 8 assists, outperforming his XG by a ridiculous plus 8.66, the best mark in England. Throw in the Champions League, domestic cups and the Club World Cup and his tally ballooned to 27 goals and 12 assists. A local lad outproducing global icons and dragging City toward history. Numbers, though, only hint at the theatre. A surgical hat-trick at Brentford, the postage stamp volley that silenced Old Trafford, and the 2-goal demolition of Brighton that lifted him past 50 Premier League strikes each felt like a coronation. Yet they arrived week after week. When City clinched a record 4th consecutive title, it was Foden, not De Bruyne, not Haaland, who swept the honours. EA Sports Player of the Season, Football Writers Footballer of the Year, and the PFA Players Player crown, the first English midfielder to land that treble in the Premier League era. Guardiola dubbed him a little artist with a sniper's instinct. And Opta's spreadsheets nodded. 6 league-leading goals from outside the box, 48 shots on target, 3rd highest, and 134 shot-creating sequences. 2024 was Foden's canvas. Every brushstroke screamed future Ballon d'Or contender.
Can you get a bullseye, mate? Oh my gosh.
And fittingly, he painted it all in sky blue for club and country alike, before exhaustion finally came calling. And then, almost overnight, the Midas touch rusted. Foden's 2024-25 began with the physical and mental hangover of 63 high-stakes matches, Club plus Euros, in the previous calendar year, an ankle ligament tweak picked up at England camp, and a dose of flu that kept him out of City's 11 until the 5th of October. By Christmas, the reigning Premier League and PFA Player of the Year had managed 0 league goals, 0 assists, and just 0.10 expected goals per 90 minutes, a drop of more than 70% from the season before. The drought finally broke on the 21st of December at Villa Park, but it felt like a sugar rush rather than sustenance. A new year burst. 6 goals in 6 January outings briefly fooled us into thinking the Stockport Iniesta was back. Then the well ran dry again. From the 2nd of February to the season's finish, he played 775 Premier League minutes without a single goal contribution across 11 appearances. A barren spell hadn't logged for any City attacker in the Guardiola era.
I don't expect anything from Foden at the moment.
What went wrong? First, the body. Pep admitted Foden was playing on fumes and needed rest after a lingering ankle knock and Euro-induced burnout. Second, the system. Rodri's ACL tear shattered City's midfield tempo. Without the Spaniard hoovering up lost balls, Foden received 12% fewer touches and was forced into deeper, less dangerous pockets. Third, the competition. January arrival Omar Mamouche claimed the number 10 berth, while Savinho and Doku locked down the wings, pushing Foden into cameo duty. He was benched for 5 of City's last 7 must-win games. By season's end, his line read 28 PL apps, 7 goals, 2 assists, 0.25 goals per 90, 0.07 assists per 90. Numbers you expect from a squad player, not last year's king. As harsh as it sounds, England's boss Thomas Tuchel has already warned that sentiment won't buy a World Cup place. The hero's cape is lying on the Etihad floor. Foden now has to pick it up, stitch the tears, and prove 2024 was a launchpad, not a high watermark. Right now, Phil Foden looks less like last year's superstar and more like a kid carrying the weight of Manchester on a taped-up ankle.
Let's go, we're ready. We're ready.
The 24-year-old admits he is struggling on and off the pitch, pointing to ligament damage from April's derby and lingering family worries. Guardiola's reply has been paternal. "He's our baby boy. I just want him to feel good." He has ordered a fortnight's rest before City fly to the Club World Cup, insisting recovery, not minutes, is the priority. Inside the dressing room, concern is real. Senior players have noticed his mental fatigue. Several urge him to log off socials and use the club's psychologist. Bernardo Silva checks in, while Kevin De Bruyne himself, a comeback veteran, sends rehab tips. The numbers underline the worry: 10 goals in all competitions and none of his last 19 appearances. With XG per 90 slumping from 0.42 to 0.18, England boss Thomas Tuchel agreed a timeout was wiser than international duty, omitting Foden from June fixtures so he can re-find the joy in his football. City remains bullish. If the ankle heals and the head clears, the Stockport Iniesta will re-emerge. First though, everyone around the Etihad is focused on giving Phil room to breathe this campaign. Phil Foden's story is at its most delicate chapter, the pivot from once-in-a-generation prodigy to durable, self-sustaining superstar. The blueprint for resurrection is already taped to the Etihad dressing room floor. It starts with acknowledging the crash: 27 goals and 13 assists in 2024, then 6 wintry months without a league contribution, showing how fatigue, ankle pain and the absence of Rodri turned dynamite into damp tinder. Accepting that truth makes the rebuild fully honest. First, heal the engine. Guardiola has ordered a proper pre-season ankle program: calf strength, proprioception, scheduled rest. Second, clear the head. Foden meets weekly with the club's psychologist and observes a digital detox. Teammates say his mood soars when the social media noise dies. Third, tweak the canvas. With Rodri back and £60 million signing Ryan Cherki roaming the left half space, Foden shifts to a freer right 8 role instead of the crowded number 10 Marmoush occupies. Analysts believe that one adjustment can nudge his XG per 90 toward the 0.40 that powered 27 goals and 13 assists in 2023-24. Fourth, embrace rotation. An 11-month calendar featuring a Club World Cup, a revamped Champions League and a winter break offers 3,500 potential minutes, enough rhythm, less burnout. Picture the payoff: 12 league goals, double-digit assists, and one defining Champions League night, the stat line that silences system player taunts. More importantly, picture the swagger: elastic feet around the D, venomous left foot curlers, celebrations that shout joy, not relief. Tuchel's tough love mission is a ticking clock. Impress by March qualifiers or watch Cole Palmer leapfrog him. Yet pressure has always honed Foden. This season will be a moment for him to make sure no one takes his starting 11 crown, especially with new hunters arriving. He shattered youth records at 17, stole cup finals at 19, and elbowed past Haaland for player of the season at 23. The dip of 2025 was a detour, not a destination. Guardiola's rebuild is gathering pace. Cherki, Reinders, Savinho and Foden, the lone Mancunian starter, can be his heartbeat. He doesn't need to be De Bruyne or Haaland. He needs to stitch them together just as he did in 2024. Do that and the Etihad will sing about a comeback that felt inevitable. The blue moon rising once again over Manchester.
I want to feel good, and after the rest will come in easy way.